Hi, welcome to today's Research Pass webinar. This is our short agenda. We should be live for between 30 minutes and 45 minutes. If you have any questions, please just add them to the questions tab in GoTo and we'll get to them at the end. So just to start with, Emerald Publishing is one of the world's leading digital-first publishers, commissioning, creating and showcasing research that makes a real difference. We work with thousands of universities and business schools across the world to share knowledge and provoke debate, which leads to a positive change. We're a family business and we're passionate about people and doing things differently. So we've been going for over 50 years. Championing fresh thinking has been at the heart of our business. And our goal is to help people in academia and people in work to work together to make a positive change. Our roots are in publishing, but we recognise our audiences need unique support, guidance and resources. And our role is to help challenge conventional ways of thinking, bringing people together to discover, create and put into practice what matters.
Hi, so as an academic publisher, we have a long history of selling subscriptions to academic institutions all over the world. However, we could see via our third-party sales that our research was being accessed regularly by many corporate customers. And in the age of fake news, the need for robust, peer-reviewed research is becoming much more apparent. So in order to meet the needs of our non-academic organisations, we've introduced Research Pass. Do you flick onto the next slide, please? So Research Pass enables customers to acquire any article or book chapter at any time. There are over 250,000 content items available, and this portfolio is growing rapidly every year. It's a single model, so one token equals one chapter or one article. You can buy token bundles in 100, 200, 500, 1,000, and 2,000, allowing for all types of budgets. So if an article or chapter is viewed or downloaded within a 24-hour time period, multiple times, it will only cost the organization one token. PDF downloads are available, so you can view, read later at your own leisure. This facility is actually often charged by competitors with similar models. Tokens don't expire for 36 months, giving greater flexibility to organizations and better return on investment. Many of our competitors only offer 12 months for a token expiry. There's access to very recently published articles, which have been peer-reviewed but are not yet assigned to a journal. This gives our customers very recent, up-to-date content. And it's worth mentioning how competitive our pricing is, with 100 tokens at just over £1,000 compared with the likes of Taylor and Francis, for example, at 1,450 for only 50 tokens. So we remain very competitive. This slide gives an idea about how broad our subject areas are and why Emerald is a really good fit for the entire business. So I'm now just going to demo how easy it is to use a token once you've signed up and bought Research Pass. So obviously you're on our fantastic Insight platform and you're able to start using your keywords or typing.
Sorry, we seem to have lost the sound to this. If you could just bear with us a moment.
Hi.
Sorry, we've lost sound again. Please bear with us.
So you're able to type in your password. And then you can see that you now have access. You can see you can now spend a token, see how many tokens your organization has left. And there is the article. So you can view as HTML, or you can also use download it as a PDF. And there's the PDF. And that is how you use a token and how you access the content. So just to finish, I just wanted to share some of our key customers. And you can see how varied their profiles are. So we've got everybody from Shell to the NHS to British Library. So again, these are just a few of our Research Pass customers we currently sell to. So I'm now going to hand you over to Tom, who will talk about our award-winning content.
Okay, thanks, Nemone. So I'm just going to talk briefly about our content that you'll be able to access through Research Pass. So Research Pass customers have access to all of our eJournal and eBook content. So that's chapters from more than 2,900 books and articles from over 300 journals. And there are around 300 new articles added every week. I'll briefly talk about our books program and then our journals as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so we are, despite the fact that we've been around for 50 or so years, we're relatively new in books publishing, having started as purely a journal publisher. However, we have come a long way in a short period of time, and that's borne out by our accolades. So in 2018, we were awarded the Academic and Professional Publisher of the Year at the IPG Independent Publishing Awards. And we were also shortlisted for the Academic, Educational and Professional Publisher of the Year at the British Book Awards. In 2019, we won the Academic, Educational and Professional Publisher of the Year award at the British Book Awards. In 2020, we won the Independent Publisher of the Year at the IPG Independent Publishing Awards. And in 2020 as well, we were shortlisted for the Academic, Educational and Professional Publisher of the Year. As well as that, many of our books have won accolades individually, including, I've pulled out a few examples here, The Business of Choice, which won the bronze medal in the 2021 Axiom Business Book Awards for advertising, marketing, PR and event planning. Black Mixed-Raced Men won the 2019 British Sociological Society Philip Abrams Award. Refugees in Higher Education won the 2019 Prose Award, Silver Medal for Education Theory. The Century of Science won the 2018 Prose Award for Education Theory and also 2017 Award for Significant Research on International Higher Education. Broken Pie Chart was awarded the Silver Medal for Personal Finance in the 2018 Axiom Business Book Awards, and 2018 Digital Book World Awards Best Book for Economics. And Autonomous Driving was awarded the 2018 Digital Book World Awards Best Book for Technology. So moving on to journals, we currently have 309 journals from around 13 subject collections, such as business, management and strategy, engineering, health and social care, and HR learning and organisation studies. We expect to publish around 14,700 articles in 2022, which will bring the total articles available to just under 380,000. And that content dates right back as far as 1898. All of the content in these articles is double-blind, peer-reviewed, and that means that both the reviewer and the author's identities are concealed from each other throughout the process. This prevents the reviewer from forming any bias that they might have if they knew who the author was. So here are a few of our highly regarded journals. So I've just pulled out a few here. So first up is Accounting, Auditing and Accountability Journal, which is ranked A star in the Australian business ranking system. So that's the highest ranking you can get in that system. The European Journal of Marketing is another A star journal, and it's also endorsed by the Academy of Marketing. International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management is produced in partnership with the Italian National Research Council Institute for Research on Innovation and Services for Development, and it has a high impact factor of 5.67. And the Journal of Knowledge Management has a particularly high site score rating of 8.5. So the next two slides have just got a snapshot of some of the key topics covered by Emerald Journals. I won't read through all of this, we will send the slides to you all after the webinar is finished, so you can have a closer look at this. But it just gives you some idea of the sorts of content we have in these different topics. So, for example, for operations, logistics and quality, you'll find content on green supply chain, service management, industry 4.0 and big data applications. And for health and social care, for example, we'll have content on implications of caring for an aging population, substance abuse and misuse, public mental health and autism. And all of this research is led by our goals, which we've created to align to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. And we have a particular focus on commissioning work in these 4 key areas. So our first goal is a fairer society, which is all about working towards a fairer, more inclusive society. Healthier Lives is focusing on the importance of a healthy body and mind, particularly amongst the most vulnerable. Responsible management is all to do with finding the most ethical, responsible and sustainable ways of working. And quality education for all comes from a belief that everyone's entitled to a quality education. So we're commissioning research that works towards that. And finally, for me, I just wanted to bring your attention to some web pages we've produced, which are specific to certain sectors. So HR and training and engineering, for example. On these pages, you'll find recent content related to that sector, content that's been popular with customers from that sector, key journals, and a sample selection of books. So if you need any inspiration for content to download, then these are the pages to visit. And I'll just very briefly show you an example of one of these pages. Just bear with me a second. Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen, which is our Research Pass pages. So these pages here, will give you a link to them at the end of the webinar, but this is just all about Research Pass, and here are our sector-specific pages. So as an example, I'll show you the banking and finance page. So on this page, we start with some most read content. So this is articles and book chapters that have been particularly popular with customers from this particular sector. So we know that these are particularly relevant articles for you if you're working in that sector. Next down is latest content. So these are some articles and chapters that have been published in the last month or so and are getting downloads from customers in this sector. So we know that they're relevant as well. We have this little button here which takes you to our Emerald Insight platform, where you can browse all the banking and finance books and journals content. And then we've got some examples of key journals within this topic, which you can then click through and browse through the content of these journals. And then finally, a sample of some of the books that we've recently published on this topic. So, for example, if you're interested in monetary policy, Islamic finance and Islamic corporate governance, you can click through here. It takes you through to our Emerald Insight platform. You see the book here and all the chapters within the book. So you can click on a chapter and there, as Nemini demonstrated earlier, here's your access options. So you can then click through and use a Research Pass token to access that chapter. And there's a little bit of information on how to access content. And then finally, this form at the bottom here. So if you want to know more about how to get Research Pass, then this is the form you can fill in and someone will get back to you. Okay, so that's all from me. So I'm going to pass back to Jen, I think.
Hi. So I think we're on to the questions now. So it looks like we've just had a couple of questions in. The first one is, how do I go about purchasing Research Pass? If one of our speakers could answer that.
Sure, I can answer that. So, yeah, so of course, all you need to do is get in touch. So you can either drop us an email on contact@emerald.com, or you can visit our Research Pass pages at emeraldgrouppublishing.com/research-pass. You'll find a contact form at the bottom of that page that I've just shown to you. Fill that in and one of our staff members in your region will get in touch. Or you can, as I said, you can email and someone will get in touch and we'll have a conversation about how you can get access. The email address and the web address that I've just mentioned will be on the next slide at the end, so you can take a note, and as I said, we'll send the slides on to you after the webinar.
Okay, thanks. Next question. I've seen cheaper ways of accessing your content through Deep Dive. Why should I pay more to access Emerald's Research Pass?
There's a couple of key advantages with research paths rather than using rental models. The biggest one is you can download a PDF for free, where you can view and use that article or chapter later on at your own leisure. And then the other thing is we are the only way of getting access to very early site articles and chapters. So it's just the access to those as well that makes it and it gives it an advantage.
Okay, thank you. And then just the last question which we've had in is there a way of sampling your content?
Yeah, good question. So on the sector-specific research paths pages that I mentioned earlier and that I showed to you, some of those pieces of content that we've linked to there will be open access. So that just means that it's free for anyone to access. There's no paywall. So you can go onto those pages, have a look through, find an article that is open access, and be able to go on and download or read the article online. And yeah, sample that content before you make a decision to buy.
Okay, thanks. We don't seem to have any other questions in. So I guess we will conclude our webinar. Thank you for attending. If you need any further information, please visit our website. The link can be seen here, so emeraldgrouppublishing.com, Research Paths, or drop us your inquiries by email. So contact emerald@emerald.com. Okay, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.